Never trust a skinny chef, right? I'm sure you've all heard hard times before. Let me start out by giving you a little quote by Gordon Ramsay. That's bullshit. Never trust a fat chef because they've eaten all the good bits. Now, over the last 14 months, I've lost 100 pounds. And I'll put up an old picture of myself, like probably right in here. So you can see the comparison from that to me now. I want to show you guys how you can do the same. Losing weight isn't about getting into the gym and grinding. Don't get me wrong, like staying physically active is very important. But when you want to lose weight, it's all about the diet. Figure out your maintenance calories, eat at a deficit. It's simple math. Now, back then, I used to go to work in the morning, get up, just maybe have a cup of coffee on my way out the door, and that was it. By lunchtime, I'd be feeling a little hungry, maybe eat something small, not really go too hard. Get around to dinner time though, especially on late days, I'd be working like 12 to 14-hour days sometimes. Not really want to be in the kitchen, just eating a bunch of processed crap food and like gorging myself on it and then going to sleep. Put on a ton of weight because of it. I want to show you guys how you can actually just pick a protein, do the bulk of your cooking at one time. I like to do like Sunday afternoon, and then throughout the week you have your core ingredients that you can use and be creative with to then create like delicious meals that are like 500 calories a serving. And I'll eat 3, 4, sometimes 5 of those a day even, but I'm still in that maintenance or still in that deficit. You can even eat like a bowl of Lay's potato chips. It's 150 calories. It takes the average person a mile and a half of running at least 5 miles an hour to burn that 150 calories off. Or you could just not eat them to begin with and eat healthy, high protein, low calorie food. Lose the weight that way. I mean, I know which one I choose, and I'm telling you this, I'm not a runner. I still eat good food too. I just actually maintain my calorie deficit, go from there while still eating tasty, delicious food. So I'm gonna get into it here. Got some chicken ready to go. I'm going to show you how I cook that in bulk. You'll have enough to last you like 3 to 5 days. Some other stuff you can make in bulk ahead of time. And using those core ingredients, be creative throughout the rest of the week. Mix up your meals, and you can prep meals in like 10 minutes after you have all your like bulk stuff prepped. So let's get into it. First things first, chicken thighs laid out. Letting these get up to about room temperature first. Same time, oven preheating 425. Spice mix, easy enough. Salt, pepper, oregano, basil, garlic, onion powder. That's it. Get these mixed together.
Give your meat a good old rub. That's it.
All right, oven 425. We're gonna set our timer here to go for about 35 minutes, and we'll get these thrown in. Now, this probably won't get them finished. 35 to 40 minutes. I do have a meat thermometer. You want it to be at an internal temperature of about 170 degrees. Plus, we're also going to turn on the broiler mode when these are done to try and crisp that skin up a little bit. All right, next up, roasted carrots. Oven's at 425 already. Got these going. Washed, peeled, cut up. Going to be mixing a little bit of olive oil. Then honey. If you like them spicy, definitely recommend hot honey. I'm going to be keeping these sweet. Honey, olive oil, done. Get your brush going. Literally, painter's brush, fully sanitize this. I use these in the kitchen all the time. They come in handy. Carrots laid out. Just start giving them a nice brush with that olive oil honey mixture. Oven's been going for about 15, 20 minutes so far. It's set to 425 already. We're going to be throwing these in just right on a different rack as the chicken. Cook them at the same time. About to throw these in right beforehand though. A little bit of salt and pepper sprinkling. Super simple, super sweet. One of my favorite and one of the easiest vegetables you can do as a side to many, many meals. We're going to leave that for about 3 more minutes or so because I want these to be in for about 10. So once that gets down to 10, we'll throw them in, go from there. All right, 10 minutes is up. We're going to get a little check-in on that chicken, see how she's going. 156, 157. Okay, about 10 or so more minutes probably out of that. We'll run for 10. Don't have to be too afraid of overcooking your chicken thighs. They will stay much more juicy and moist than chicken breasts will. That's why we're using them. Carrots have been in there for 10 minutes already. We're going to do those for another 10 minutes as well. Next up, food processor. Set to puree. Don't have one? You can use a blender. Works just as well. We are not making a Sunday sauce here, but we are making a quick and easy 30-minute tomato sauce, marinara. You can store it in the freezer for 3 to 6 months, make it in big batches. Works great in a whole lot of meals, especially once we get that chicken into carrots done. In here, I had tomatoes cut in half, salt, pepper, oregano, basil, parsley, little bit of olive oil, tomato paste. Now, like I said, it's no Sunday sauce, but in the meantime, we're gonna have garlic, onion, olive oil, salt, pepper on the stove. Simmer down till the onions get sweated down and cooked. Once that's done, we'll be mixing this tomato puree right in. Simmer it for 20-30 minutes till it's thickened up. Marinara sauce, it's going to be great. We're going to be using that with the chicken breasts to make some amazing chicken parm sandwiches paired with the carrots. That's a whole meal. You can then use the marinara sauce in other meals throughout the week. Like I said, freeze it for 3 to 6 months. Take it out the day before you plan on using it. You'll be good to go. All right, timer just went off. Pulled the carrots out. They are done. Checking the chicken. That was also finished. We will stick a thermometer in here to double check. Last thing we're going to do to it then. Oh, yeah. 175, good to go. Also going to turn that off, turn the oven on broil, set it to high. You're gonna only want to do this for a couple minutes here at most. This is really just gonna crisp up that chicken thigh skin on the end of it. Be absolutely delicious. Using a ton of meals, be creative with it. We're making a bunch of stuff ahead of time in bulk. Be able to combine it in all sorts of different ways to make cheap, amazing meals that you can eat on the quick throughout the week. Sauce is going, medium to low heat. Leave it on a simmer. Probably 20-30 minutes till this really thickens up. If it's super thick, add a little bit of water, no problem. Once you just dump it all in there, once the onions are good, and leave that to go 20-30 minutes, be ready to go. Basmati rice, rinsed first in the pot, depending on what you're using, rice cooker, instant pot. You can even do it on the stove, 1-to-1, 1 cup of rice, 1 cup of liquid, using a little bit of chicken broth. We're gonna use this, 1 to make a chicken tikka masala, 2 can also be used to make a stir fry later in the week. Same as the other stuff, making this ahead of time in a batch. I'm not doing huge batches here. If you're trying to feed a family of 4, just up the batches. You can do whole batches, stick stuff in the fridge, stick stuff in the freezer. Like I said, that marinara, that very easy to freeze. Throw that in a deli container once it's room temperature. Saran wrap, lid on top, put it in the freezer, good for 3 to 6 months. Take it out 24 hours beforehand. This rice easily go in the fridge 3 to 5 days, same as the chicken. Those carrots we didn't do a whole batch of, but again, 3 days in the fridge, no problem. All you have to do is heat it up. We've done the bulk of our meal prep already. Day of, all we're doing, heating up the chicken, taking out the ciabatta roll, throwing it in the oven, toasting it, heating it up. Tiny bit of Parmesan cheese on here, melted with the ciabatta roll. Wilting some spinach, taking our marinara sauce out of the freezer the day before, day of, taking it out, heating it up at the same time we heat up the chicken, throw it all together, carrots, same thing, heat them up, put it all together into one meal, you're good to go. Now I was going through here and it's 210 calories for the ciabatta roll, 50-ish calories for the marinara sauce. I'll get in here. It does not take much. It is very flavorful. Tiny spoonful, all you need. We're only using half of the chicken thigh, which comes down to about 125 calories. Wilted spinach is negligible at only about 5 calories. Parmesan cheese, only using an ounce of it or less, around 110 calories. Our carrots comes down to about 75 calories. Throw it all together. Like I said, whole meal, delicious, 575 calories. Next up, I'm going to show you guys how to make a very quick and easy raspberry balsamic vinaigrette. Starting out with the raspberries in a bowl. They have been washed and rinsed. You're going to take our balsamic vinaigrette here. Give them a nice coating. Then we're going to give these a little bit of time to kind of sit in there. After about 10 minutes, come back. Going to give them a little crush and let them sit a little longer, but we'll just let those sit for now. So this raspberry's been sitting for a little bit. All we're going to do now, back of a spoon, crush it down. Once we get this crushed down, we will be straining it through the back of a sieve. Now that our raspberry and balsamic has been going for a little bit, you can kind of see in there that nice red color that we're getting. It's perfect. So we're going to take our strainer here, take that out, pop that right there. Pour that just all into the strainer. Try and get this pulp out. Gonna use the back of a spoon, press that down in, get as much of the juice as we can out. And again, you don't have to have a food processor. If you don't, just use a blender. Works just as well. With our raspberry puree, then we're gonna be adding a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper, and a little bit of honey to taste. Not a lot here. Just depends on how sweet and how vinegary you want it. I personally like mine a little bit more on the vinegary side, so not gonna be using too much honey. So we got a mixer here set to puree mode. Got about a 1/4 cup of olive oil in there. Got a squirt of honey. Don't need too much. Depends on how sweet you want it. However, more honey means more calories. A little bit of salt and pepper. Now, because this dressing is so high in vinegar here, it will actually keep in the fridge for a couple of weeks. Also, feel free to freeze it as well. Because it is oil and honey mixed together, it will separate on you. But all you have to do is give that a quick little stir. There we go. Look at that. Nice and smooth. I'm getting all sorts of juice all over my kitchen here. Spilled a little bit, but that's fine. easy enough to clean up. This dressing is perfect with chicken, with salmon, do it with a bunch of proteins. I'm going to show you guys a chicken salad that is a perfect lunch to take with that bulk chicken that you made earlier. Let me go get that put together. We got our perfect little lunch. That chicken, all we did with that, took it out of the fridge, cut up, again, only using about half a chicken thigh. Got some feta cheese, some almonds, and some walnuts tossed on there, and then our raspberry vinaigrette drizzled right on top. I like to take it in, keep the chicken separate into work with me. Heat that chicken up a little bit beforehand, throw it on, have some nice warm chicken on there. Absolutely perfect meal.
So good and tasty.
Calorie count coming in here for that half a chicken thigh that we use is coming down to about 125 calories. 70 for the feta cheese, not a lot, less than an ounce. Almond and walnuts, you use about half an ounce of them, is going to get you to about 100 calories, and about 50 calories for like 1 to 2-ish tablespoons of that raspberry vinaigrette dressing. It is very flavorful. You do not need a lot. Another delicious meal coming in at 345 calories. Well, it's a day later, and it is now 9:45 at night. Worked about 12 hours today, and usually I would just make one of those chicken salads that I showed you guys yesterday. I can just throw that together in 2 minutes, but I'm gonna try proof of concept here, try and put together another low-calorie filling meal here in hopefully 15 minutes or less. Trying to make a chicken penne with some spinach in there with that chicken we already cooked. Loading up the water here ready for a boil with salt water. 2-3 big pinches, lots of salt in there. Don't worry, most of that's gonna wash out whenever we rinse our pasta. Get that covered, let it boil. Hopefully get it boiling real quick. Got that on high. Got the chicken ready. Got the sauce ready. Parmesan cheese and spinach ready. Pasta ready to go. This meal's gonna come out to about, let's see, 250 calories for the chicken, 100 calories for the sauce, about 510 calories for the spinach, 200 calories for the penne, 110 calories for the Parmesan cheese I'm going to sprinkle on top. 650 calorie meal, hopefully 15 minutes or less. Bring you guys back when we're going. All right, 9:58 p.m. Got that pasta finished. A little bit of pasta water still in the pot, pouring that right back in. Throwing in our chicken. Just getting this all heated up. Using about one of those chicken thighs in here. Turn that heat down a little bit. A couple spoonfuls of that nice marinara sauce we made yesterday in here. Gonna throw in some spinach. Let that wilt while this stuff is heating up. Get a nice even coating on everything. And I don't even know what time I said we got started here. 9:46, something like that. 10 o'clock now. Gotta tell you, this smells delicious. Getting this on the plate here. And we will top it off with a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And one of my favorite ways to finish a pasta dish is a little bit of crushed red pepper. Just a nice little sprinkle of this Parmesan. That'll melt in real nice with our heated meal. Get some of that sprinkled right on. And in about 15 minutes, have a delicious meal ready to go. Let's see if I can't get you guys a little look at that. Beautiful. Long day of work. Delicious hot food. Come back to you with some more in a bit. This quick meal we're going to be doing with our pre-prepared things. It's going to be basically a little knockoff chicken tikka masala. So we're going to start by just heating up the rice. I got a little bit of chicken broth in the pot there. A little half a cup or so. But with that chicken broth in the pot, I am going to throw in a little bit of freshly minced garlic as well. We're not cooking the rice here, not even really browning it, just gonna try and steam it. Like I said, the rice is already cooked, pre-prepared. Steamed and heated up, we'll just get that going. What we are gonna do is add about half of a chicken thigh in here. Again, we are doing relatively low calorie but filling meals. There we go. Maybe a little more than half, but you know. Got a pretty big deficit going on today, so I can afford the extra right now. But this is what it's all about right here, is counting calories, figuring out what your maintenance are, still cooking good food that is falling under your maintenance calories. If you're eating at a deficit, you'll lose weight. Gonna get this chicken heated up. I'll come right back to you whenever we add the sauce. We're gonna be using that same tomato sauce marinara that we made before. Like I said, not quite authentic chicken tikka masala, but it's gonna be close enough. Get her going, add it to our rice, and a pretty good meal here. In relatively short time, literally like 10 minutes. Our chicken is nice and warm, so we're gonna go ahead and add our marinara sauce. A couple tablespoons of that. And now, what I'm also gonna do here, because our marinara is nice and thick, I am going to dump a little bit of chicken stock in here, thin this out a bit. See, I got that nice and thin right there. tikka masala, looking for a nice creamy sauce. So I'm gonna get my ginger thrown in as well. Gonna add just a nice little scoop of our garam masala seasoning. Good bit here. We want this to be
Regular old black pepper. Oh no.
pretty well seasoned. All right. And with that going, nice little stir. Get that all well and combined. Ooh, man, the aromatics on this, I gotta tell you, are pretty great already. Looking forward to this one. All right, we're gonna get this heat down a little bit. I see we're starting to bubble here. Now that is a great smelling sauce already. Just gonna get a little bit of cream cheese in here at first, let that get melted. And then, once that kind of melts in, starts combining, we'll get a little bit more yet. Really just trying to get creamy. Usually you'd be using heavy cream for this. Like I said, I didn't have any. Cream cheese can literally be used as a one-to-one substitute for heavy cream though. Add your cream a little bit at a time. You don't want it to start curling. Cream cheese you don't have to worry about as much as you would heavy cream, but in all of what was about 10 minutes, we got a nice little knockoff chicken tikka masala. We're looking at about 125 to 150 calories for the chicken thigh. Went a little bit more than half of it. About 230 calories for the sauce, 210 calories for the rice. So 565 to, we'll call it 590-ish calories for this bowl. Like I said, I want a little bit heavier on the chicken, so that's gonna definitely add some more calories. A little extra protein though, never hurts. Like I said, it's all about keeping track of your own maintenance calories though, making delicious meals that fall within your goals, and going from there. Eat at a deficit, you'll lose weight. Next up, we're gonna do some steamed French green beans with a little bit of chicken broth, and then we're going to use that same garlic, or the same basmati rice, I'm sorry, for a little bit of a chicken and rice stir fry with some steamed green beans on the side. So we got our green beans in there, chicken broth, going to throw a little bit of salt and pepper in. Now this whole meal is basically only going to take about as long as it takes to steam the green beans. Actually doing the stir fry with the rice and the chicken, you know, take a little bit of time, but like it's already cooked. All you got to do is heat it up. So we're going to get these going, let those steam for a little bit here. All right, green beans are done. We're going to get our new pot going. Let the oil get heated up a little bit. We're going to get our rice and chicken just tossed right in. Let me turn that heat down. It's already going. Going to get a chicken thigh in here, or chicken thighs worth, thereabouts. Let that chicken warm up a little bit, then we're going to be throwing our rice in on top. Any good stir fry, you want your rice to actually cool down in the refrigerator for at least a day first. Really dries it out and helps you make a real nice stir fry. Now we're going to get our rice right on in. Got our green beans off to the side. Good thing about this is those green beans are really only going to be coming in at about 30 to 50-ish calories. About 210 for the rice, 250 for the chicken here. With any stir fry, just keep it moving. Keep it in that hot oil. Get it going. Got her all played up. Give this a little squirt of lemon juice. And see if I can get you a nice little shot there. Now, like I said at the beginning of this video, meal prep for me is more about getting my big shit prepped early on in the week, so that on days where I'm working late, I can still get in the kitchen and cook quick, easy, delicious meals. At the same time, watching those calorie counts, continuing to lose weight, stay on that grind. But just because you're trying to lose weight doesn't mean you still can't get in the kitchen, make something delicious, and have fun with it. Now, I've got one more to show you. Like I said, in terms of being creative with these meals, hoping I'm showing you a good mix of just using chicken to create all these different varieties throughout the week, which is literally what I'm doing. I made that stuff on Sunday. We're on Thursday now. Got one more to go. Last day here. What I got in store today is a little bit of a, honestly, I don't even know what to call it. Ratelli pesto chicken thigh thing with some walnuts and some fire roasted tomatoes and spinach. So all I did before getting you on camera, I boiled some of that Ratelli, and now I'm coming in here. I got the fire roasted tomatoes and the chicken that we've already made in the pot. Gonna heat that up, get it warm, throw the spinach in, mix in the pasta that's already pre-cooked, the pesto, get it all stirred together, plate it up, throw some walnuts on there. Looking at the total calorie counts for this, the routine comes in about 200 calories, fire roasted tomatoes 25, I'm using about half of that chicken thigh, which is going to be about 125 calories. A eighth of a cup of pesto, 140 calories. Spinach, about 5 calories. And some crushed walnuts coming in at about 50 calories. So this plate of food is going to be sitting at about 540 calories. I'm going to get my burner figured out here maybe and bring you guys back when I'm plating this up. We got fire again. So all I've been doing, I have that fire roasted tomato and the chicken right in the pot. Got that nice and warm. Just threw in a little handful of spinach here. Gonna get that wilted. Give you guys a little look-see of that. And as soon as the spinach gets wilted down, gonna go grab the pasta. Like I said, pre-boiled, pre-cooked, done to al dente. That means chewy, but not mush. All right. Eighth of a cup of pesto, just using a quarter cup, fill about halfway. Gonna get that stirred in, and I'll bring you back when we're playing. Here we are. Last thing we're gonna do, I got some crushed walnuts here. We're just gonna give that a nice little sprinkle right over top. And now this is yet another 15-minute meal, real easy to do after work. Only coming in at 540 calories. Healthy, delicious, and calorie conscious. That's all we're looking for. Well, I hope you enjoyed seeing some quick and easy calorie conscious meals. All it takes is a little bit of pre-prep beforehand. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, it's all personal diet. If you're trying to lose the weight, it's all calorie count. You gotta figure out what your maintenance calories are. Go for a week, 2 weeks, log every calorie you're eating for those 2 weeks. And if you gain a pound, lose a pound, whatever, keep track of that, do the math on it. It's all about putting in that work though. I can only tell you what has actually worked for me. Everyone's different. Now, each one of these meals that I showed you today, I'll do 3 of them a day, coming down to 500 to 600 calories a piece, plus 2 protein bars mixed in. Now, I work a pretty physically demanding job, so obviously my maintenance calories are going to be a little bit higher than somebody that's working an office job, not getting into the gym as much. It's all about figuring out what your own personal maintenance calories are and going from there. But I can only tell you that the effort is worth it. It's been a hard journey for myself. I've always struggled with food. I mean, I love being in the kitchen, obviously. It's always been a bit of an issue of mine, but over the last 14 months, putting in the work, putting in the effort, it's changed my life for the better, honestly. And I hope that I've shown you something and can maybe give you guys a little bit of help to do the same for yourself. Actually dealing with this physical job, joint problems gone. I'm carrying around basically a person less on my frame, and it has made a world of difference. But like I said, all I'm trying to do is hopefully inspire you to take that step yourself, because for me personally, it's been great. But I'll be back with you guys soon. Got a lot more planned. I know it's been probably a year since I posted something like that, but I'm planning on getting back to it. I'll see you soon. Happy eating. I need water. My mouth is so dry.